The microeconomics are in a complete bloodbath as we speak. We've got the Fed raising interest rates, we have inflation, we have a war, we're trying to recover from COVID, we have printing of money. There's all sorts of things for the microeconomics to be horrific. We've got GDP declining quarter on quarter. We've got things we haven't seen in 30, 40, 50 years, all happening together at once. But what if I told you everyone was wrong about the state of the microeconomics? What if I told you Bitcoin has something secret in store? Because what happens in these situations is when everybody starts screaming the same thing, the opposite happens. What will happen this time? We're going to jump into it with great detail in today's video. If you're new here, my name is Steve. I started in the stock market a little over 20 years ago, and I thought I was going to be a very successful trader. And what I realized is I got punched in the mouth, kicked in the shorts. I lost a lot of money, a lot of trades, a lot of stress. I realized I didn't know what I was doing. I spent the next 20 years figuring out how to dominate this game, and I'm here with you today to make sure that you don't make all those silly and costly mistakes that I did. Hit that subscribe button right now. Did you hit it? Hit that button. Now we're going to get into a lot of charts with Bitcoin. There's no denying that the microeconomics are grim. There's no denying that there's blood in the streets, that there's panic, there's fear. There's no denying that. What is undeniable is that the high majority of people, especially when Bitcoin went down to 17,500, the high majority of people all started chanting the same thing. If you go back in history and you look at any times we were in the golden zone for Bitcoin, and there's only been 1, 2, 3, 4 times that Bitcoin has been in the golden zone. All 4 of these, the high majority of people were chanting that we were going to go much lower for other economic reasons. There could have been all sorts of reasons here and here and here, but what's consistent is that each time we reach these high fear, high blood in the streets situations, you want to look at what the majority of people are doing and you want to look at the facts. Those are the 2 things you want to look at. The facts in the charts and what's the majority saying. If the majority are saying that we're going to crash a lot lower, but the facts are saying, hey, we've bottomed, then we're in the money. That's going to be the best time of your life to ever buy. Right now in the stock market, looks like the stock market could go down by multiples. It looks like Bitcoin too, but that's what everybody's saying. That's what everyone is saying. What is undeniable is we're in the golden zone. This chart right here for Bitcoin, the golden zone is when prices on the monthly chart are below this green line. Doesn't happen very often. It's short-lived. Like in 2018, we only had a couple candles below here. Now, how to find the bottom of the market? The bottom is when we're in these golden zones and we touch this yellow line. That marks the absolute bottom. It did so in 2015. Fast forward to 2018. In the golden zone, touch this yellow line, bottom. 2022, in the golden zone, touch the bottom. Here we are, 17,500. We're going to look at this chart. This chart is the Gaussian channel. The Gaussian channel has helped us predict Bitcoin to the T for a couple of years, right? We called for the mega crash to start at 48,000, and here we are. But what the Gaussian channel has up its sleeve is a little trick. On this 8-day chart, what you want to see is when we go from green to red. When we go from green to red, it marks the absolute bottom as soon as we turn red on this 8-day chart. 2018, green for a long time, turned to red. We turned to red right at the market bottom. 2022, green for a long time, just turned to red right at potentially the market bottom. So far, we're 2 for 2 with the charts that are saying the bottom is in for Bitcoin. But how about the microeconomics? How about it? I want to give my honest opinion on where I think. We're going to go through a couple more facts in the charts. Then we're going to take a pause. We're going to do a big picture summary of what I think is happening in the markets and why I think everybody might be wrong. Now, with this chart, we've got the 100 MA and 20 MA crossing on the weekly. We've only had a few crosses in history, 2 others to be exact. One of them happened in 2015. When you see this yellow line cross the red line, it happened at precisely the market bottom. It didn't cross again until 2018, which happened to be precisely the market bottom again. 2 for 2 at precisely the market bottom. Fast forward to 2022, we covered right here on our channel, the yellow line crossed the red at precisely, potentially, the market bottom. We don't know if this is the market bottom yet, but this chart is screaming it's the bottom. Look at the next one. The next one is our personal trading strategy, okay? We looked at all of the data, and this is the best strategy on planet Earth to buy Bitcoin. We made this strategy over a year ago. This strategy is over a year ago, and then it played out. We'll get to that in a moment. But essentially, the strategy is below, below, below. We need price action below this line. We need RSI below this line and stochastic RSI below this line at precisely the same candle. It did that right here in 2011 and marked exactly the market bottom, the best time to buy Bitcoin in 2011, below, below, below. We didn't have below, below, below at precisely the same candle for many years. The next one was in 2015. You can see here was a false signal. We had below, below, but not below. We had below, below, not below. Here we had below, 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 precisely the same candle, marked precisely the market bottom in 2015. It actually did it in 2018. And even when Bitcoin tried to throw a curveball at everybody with this COVID crash, this strategy dominated below, below, below. What is it saying in 2022? Well, we had below, below, below at 17,500. This is the best strategy on earth. How about this one? This one is Steve's FIDMA. If you're a student of mine, you have this one. What this is saying is that when we touch this purple line, the bottom is precisely in, okay? And sometimes we can touch it 2 times in the midst of the bear market. We made another video about this. You should probably watch it, because if we had this double bottom, when would it happen? What would the price be? Watch our other video on this one. It's pretty phenomenal. But what you want to see is support on this purple line. We're seeing all these factors come in, and we're also seeing some confirmation on the other end. This death cross on the 4-day, it played out in 2015 and in 2018. And when this death cross happened on the 4-day, when this green line crosses the red, it happened after the market bottom. The market bottom here, and then we got confirmation of that bottom with this cross in 2015. What happened in 2018? The market bottomed here, and the death cross happened after to give us confirmation. How about in 2022? We believe the bottom is here, and then this happened after to give us confirmation. So we've got a lot of charts that are screaming the same thing. We know that when the markets start to get all screaming the same thing, that usually the opposite is about to happen. We know that during this time, when we reached to 17,500, everyone was screaming. Almost 80% of the people were screaming that we would go substantially lower. They're talking about the microeconomics. They're talking about the Fed. They're talking about inflation and the GDP and interest rates and war and turmoil and blood and fear. All of these things always happen in every bear market. There's always some crazy stories, and everyone believes we're going a lot lower, and then the market does the opposite. This has been happening for the history of mankind with anything that we've had to represent money, even way back in the day when we had spices that represented money, or cows. It always happens. When everyone starts yelling the same thing, the opposite will play out. Yes, the microeconomics are really bad right now, but that could be a good sign for us, because the high majority of the facts are saying that the bottom is in. According to us, the bottom is in until otherwise proven with some facts. I believe that everyone is wrong about the microeconomics and that the bottom is in. We'll have to see, but this is where things start to get very interesting. So hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date. There's only one question left: when to sell your cryptocurrency. Click right here, right now, to find the 3 simple steps.